Okay. Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. So today we are from set, group project for set, dietary management system. Our topic today is about diet. So here is the group member. Me, myself, is Abdul Razak bin Abdul Aziz, and my teammates, Muhammad Amirul Adam, Muhammad Sharifuddin, Izan Nadira, and also Aina Akila. Okay, so for the first part of our presentation is surely about introduction. So what is our dietary management system all about? Okay, so first, we want to assist individuals in managing their dietary needs. So we want to guide them what they should eat every day. And we have this website focused to personalize meal plan nutritional education and progress tracking for our clients that subscribe to our website. So the next point will be presented by Sharifuddin.
Next, our user can choose between a free account for basic feature like calorie tracking or a premium account for expert consultation and personalized meal. The system simplifies meals planning and help user track their calorie intake and receive recommendation for a healthier lifestyle. It is ideal option for those who are seeking to live a little more healthy. That's all.
All right, so I'm gonna be explaining about the context diagram between customer and the dietary management system. So the customer will provide some info such as customer personal data info, payment information, dietary preferences info, and calorie tracking info. In return, the dietary management system will return the dietary plan info and nutritional intake report info to the customer. That's all for me.
The dietitian will give the information to the system. Example, the dietitian information, diet plan and customer advancement. And the system will give the customer dietary dietitian as the output. For use case dietary management system, customer can manage, register and login, manage payment system, manage calorie calculation, manage dietary plan, and manage customer progress. For dietitian, dietitian can manage, register and login, manage dietary plan, and manage customer progress.
For the first sequence diagram, which is for manage, register, and login, if the customer select registration, it will send the request to the authentication controller and then to the authentication record. The record will then verify the request to the controller, and the controller will show verify request to the authentication interface. Next, the user will enter registration information. The information then will be sent to the authentication record by authentication controller. Lastly, it will display confirmation to the customer on the interface. If the user select login option, it will also send a request to the authentication record and verify it. Then the customer can enter their credential such as email or username and their password, and it will be sent to authentication controller. Then be sent it to the authentication record for verification. If the credential is valid, the authentication record will grant access and redirect the user to the dashboard. Next. for the alternative flow, the basic flow is the same, but for the alternative, user can select to reset their password if they forgot it. Once user select reset password, their request will be sent and the system will ask the user to enter their email. Then the system will verify it by sending the reset password link. After the user click on the reset password link, they will be prompted to enter new password, and then the system will update the new password. After the password is saved into the database of the system, the authentication record will display confirmation to the customer, the user, sorry. Next. For the exception flow, this happen when the user enter a duplicate email during registration. If the user select registration, it will send the request to the authentication controller and authentication record. It will verify the request, then prompt user to enter the registration information. Once the system verify the information and create account, it cannot be done because the system already have the information for that email address of such. Then the system will display error and prompt the user to use another email or proceed to the login site. I think that's all from my part. I will pass to my fellow groupmate. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharifuddin. So for my basic flow is about payment. So the first step for the user is to enter payment information into the payment interface. Then the payment information will be sent to payment controller. Afterwards, the payment controller will send the TSC information to the to customer through a mobile phone, perhaps, and then user need to enter back the TSC TSC sent by the system. Sorry, to the interface, and then the interface will send the verification information to the payment controller. Once the payment controller has successfully verified the TAC, it will generate the receipt information to the payment record, and the payment record will send the invoice information to the payment controller, and it will send the payment controller will send the information back to the customer to the interface. Next. Okay, for the exception flow, there are two kind of exception. The first one is that if the customers enter invalid payment information. So the first thing is that the customer enter the payment information, and the payment controller receives the payment information for it to verify. However, if it's unable to verify the payment information, like if it's invalid, it will display error message to the customer, and the customer need to repeat the process again. The second exception is the customer enters invalid TAC. So the system will send TAC information to the customer, and the customer need to enter TAC to into the system for verification. After the payment controller receive the verification information, it will try to verify the TSC. It will try to compare what user have entered with what the system have sent to the user. If it's not the same one, the payment controller will will display the error message to the customer, and the customer need to request the new TSC information from the system, and the user need to re-enter the TSC again. Okay, I think that's all from me. I will pass to Izan Adira.
Okay, for this basic flow is for calorie calculation. It starts from when user select the calorie calculation. it send request to calorie calculation control. So then it send request to calculation record, then verify to controller and send to the interface. Then customer enter the meal intake in the calorie calculation interface. Then send meal intake to the controller. Controller calorie calculation record receive the meal intake. Then meal intake sent to the calorie calculation controller. Then calorie calculation controller display the meal intake at the interface. Then customer enter daily activity. Daily activity sent to the controller. Controller sent to the record. Then calorie calculation record receive the daily activity. Then it send back to controller. Then it will display at interface. Then from the daily activity, calorie calculation burn is get the calorie burn, then it will send to the record. Then from the record, it send to the controller back, then display the calorie burn. Then it calculate the calorie intake from the meal intake and calorie burn. Then controller send the calorie intake to the calorie calculation record. Then it send back to the controller, then it display calorie intake at the interface. Then it's for the exception flow has two exception. E1 is the customer enter the invalid meal intake. The first one is the same as basic flow. As customer select the calorie calculation at interface, then send request to controller, send request to record, then verify the request to the controller back, then verify to the interface. Then customer enter the invalid meal, then send meal to the controller, then calorie calculation record receive the meal intake. Then it will display the error message to controller, then will display to calorie calculation interface. For second exception flow is the customer enter the invalid daily activity. Customer enter daily activity, then it sent to the controller, and calorie calculation record receive the daily activity. Then it will display the error message to the controller and send also display error message at the interface. So that's all for calorie calculation.
Okay, thank you, Izian. So now is for my part, which is dietary plan. So here, the firstly, the diet plan record will send the customer details to the controller, and the controller will display the customer detail. And then here it is for dietitian part, where dietitian, when he or she will get the customer details, they will enter the construct diet plan that's suitable for the customer. Then the personalized diet plan will then go to the diet plan controller, and it will be recorded in the diet plan record. And then if the customer want to see the dietary plan, the dietary plan record will send the diet plan to the controller, and the controller will display the personalized diet plan to the customer. Okay. So for the exception flow, this is where when the customer is not subscribed to our system. So the diet plan record will not give the customer details to the dietitian. So the diet plan record only give it to the controller, and the controller will generate the diet plan based on the automatic algorithm. Then it will be recorded, and the diet plan record will send the diet plan to the controller, and the diet plan controller will display the generalized diet plan to the customer. And next will be continued by Aina Akila.
when the user, the dietitian, select customer address and request to the controller and the record. After that, it will verify the request, the record to the controller and the interface. After that, the dietitian will enter the customer address and the customer address to the controller and the record. After that, it will display customer address to the controller and the controller customer address to the interface. Next, for exception flow, happen when the dietitian enter invalid customer progress. When dietitian enter invalid customer progress, when dietitian enter customer progress, it will send customer progress to the controller and the record, and it will when dietitian invalid customer progress, it will display error message to the controller and controller to the interface.
For the first UI design, which is the login page, we can see that the user will need to put their username and their password. There is also a button for if the user forgot their password. If the user not yet registered to any account before on the website, they can choose the does not have an account yet. Next, this is our registration page. The user will need to enter their name, email, password, and then confirm their new password so that they can forget it. I think that's all for my UI design.
All right, thank you, Sharifuddin. So for the payment UI design, as you can see, we clearly state what is the benefits of upgrading to the premium plan. As you can see, we have listed some here, and also we've stated how much is the price for per month. So we have currently we have four payment methods. We have online banking, credit and debit card, and for those who want to use e-wallet, we have Touch and Go and e-wallet and Shopee Pay. And then after the user has chose their payment method, they can click upgrade to premium. Next. If this is the example of if they were to choose a credit or debit card payment. As you can see, they need to put their the card holder name, the card number, the expiry date of the card, and the CVV of the card, and then they can submit the payment. That is all for the payment. I will pass to my next group mate.
Okay, this is UI design for the calorie calculation. User can enter the meal intake and daily activity. For example, chicken and running. Then customer can click on the calorie calculation. Then it will go to the next page. Customer can see the result of the calorie calculation. This calorie calculation show the calorie from the meal and calorie burn from the running, which is the activity that has been entered. The calorie is 200 and for the meal is 400. Then this page show the customer daily calorie intake is 200 calories. Then this page state that for personalized diet, it would take the 3 working days to generate. So that's all for this UI for calorie calculation.
Okay, thank you, Izian. So now we will go to the dietary plan. So for personalized dietary plan, which is for the subscribed customer, it is almost the same like the generous one, but here we can the customer can give their feedback if the dietary plan that the dietitian plan for the customer is suit their taste. So if anything goes wrong or it is their liking, they can give the feedback to the dietitian. Okay, so for the second UI is generalized dietary plan, where this is for the pre-subscriber. So we still give it the automatic dietary plan. So what we want to get what we want from the customer is only their rate for us. Is it good enough for them, even though it is free, something like that. Okay, so next we'll go to the Aina.
The user interface for progress. This dietitian for the dietitian can select customer name, and when the dietitian select customer name, it will display the information of the customer. In dietitian can update their customer advancement information and can update the progress. Next interface is about customer progress overview. This is for customer to view their advancement information that has been updated by the dietitian. That's all.
Okay, so that's all from us from Dietary Management System Group. So that's so yes, thank you.
Keluar, balik.